Good morning everyone and welcome to Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapeeth student initiated talk show, Manthan, co-powered by Lokmanya Tilak Pratishthan. Let's take a look at last year's Manthan.
नमस्कार.
नमस्कार. हॅलो ऑल.
को मेरा सादर नमस्कार.
टिळक महाराष्ट्र विद्यापीठ प्रस्तुत मंथन 2022
को पावर्ड बाय कॅनन सिनेमा EOS सिस्टीम यामध्ये तुमच्या सर्वांचंच मनपूर्वक स्वागत.
You need to learn, and not just by reading and listening to lectures, but you need to learn by doing it.
Today we have a very special guest with us who has taken the art of photography to new heights. Please welcome Mr. Pritesh Rao. Mr. Rao is a well-known photographer who has captured the essence of life in his lens. He has traveled all around the world, capturing the beauty and diversity of different cultures. He has also won many awards for his works. Sir, I'm sure everyone is very excited to hear from you. But before that, let's take a look at of your many accomplishments. Introducing Pritesh Rao, a highly acclaimed photographer with over 30 years of experience in professional and commercial photography. He's the course leader for photography department at Pearl Academy, Mumbai, and an award-winning graduate from the prestigious Sir J.J. School of Art. Having started his journey as the youngest photo mentor for Kodak, he has now become one of the senior-most photo maestros at Canon India, where he has been assisting amateur and professional photographers in the art of photography for the past 25 years. Over the course of his illustrious career, Mr. Rao has been associated with some leading ad agencies in India, like Mac Academy, Ambience, Zen, Impulse, among others. He has to his credit some very prestigious assignments from Archaeological Survey of India on their project for Ajanta and Ellora caves, and Bandra Worli ceiling skyline, Gateway of India and Taj Mahal Hotel for Maharashtra government, to name a few. He has been instrumental in conducting more than 500 workshops for Canon India Limited. As a qualified electronic engineer by qualification, his photographic skills are backed by his technical acumen. With an impressive list of achievements and a wealth of experience, Pritesh Rao is undoubtedly one of the most talented and sought-after photographers in India. Today, we have the great opportunity to learn from his experiences and insights. Let's not keep the audience waiting, sir. So, how did your journey as a photographer start?
Okay. So, have you all seen the movie Three Idiots? Has anybody missed out? Sure. If you have missed out, please do have a look today evening itself. Okay. So the engineer whom you saw over there, who was that? Farhan Razulization, correct? Yes. So his story, the movie came down in a few years back. So I have done that same thing 30 years back. That's the only difference. And when I did meet Amir Khan sir, I just said that, sir, आपने मेरी life story ली है. So basically, by qualification, I'm an electronic engineer from Mumbai University, but the whole difference is started working, got campus placement, all things said and done. One thing which I was not happy was the engineering job. Good salary, everything was going on good. And in fact, I was not very far from Pune. I was in Pune itself. I was in Koregaon Bhima with Kalyani Sharp India Limited. I was their QC in charge, everything going on good. And they say now, when it's too a smooth sailing, an artist can't hold on for long. It has to be a ride in which he has to take on many things. And that's the time when, again, with a small push or impetus from my mother, who did ask me one thing, are you happy doing what you're doing? And that's the time when I said to her, no, I'm not. And she was like, what do you want to do? I said, I want to learn photography. And she's like, okay, fine. But first, how did I come into engineering? That is again a small thing which I would like to tell you. 35, 40 years back, there were only 3 professions. The first profession was being a doctor. Okay? The second profession was being a chartered accountant. And the third profession would be a engineer, right? The first choice which was there, being a doctor, katna, pitna, all that thing was not my cup of tea, frankly. Though I've shot with the topmost cardiothoracic surgeons of India, okay, Dr. Neetu Mandke, Dr. Bhattacharya, all that thing is there. And in the first attempt only, I was like sweating at even that 3 degrees temperature in the OT, I was sweating like crazy. That is one part. Second part was being a chartered accountant. I for surely know that being a creative person, if you are creative with the numbers, okay, I would have been on the wrong side of the law. Correct? Yes, no? Kuch numbers aage piche kar doge, okay, then you would have been on the wrong side of the law. So that was out of question. The third and the least deadly of the combination was being an engineer. That's what I took up, passed off, did very good, everything said and done. Then comes in the second phase of your life, and that is photography. Joined JJ School of Arts, and that's one era which I saw, which probably was the toughest era in Indian history, I would say. That is the breaking of the Babri Masjid. Then post that, the bomb blast which happened in Mumbai. Scam 92, probably everybody must have seen that. Scam 92 dekha hai? Okay. So Harshad Mehta ko chase karne wale hum log the. We were the few photojournalists who was chasing Harshad Mehta. So all that thing was there going on, and then had a job as a photojournalist with a newspaper that was Sandesh newspaper, that was a Gujarat based newspaper. So cover everything for the newspaper in Mumbai, and that was not the time in which you could send your images or anything by internet or something. That was pre-internet era. So whatever you shot, you had to take it physically. So shoot everything in Mumbai, take the train, go to Surat, go in the office, and the developing of a roll would take like half an hour, 40 minutes, and again washing of the roll. So like totally 1 hour process. That I used to do in the train while going, in the toilets of the train. Have a portable darkroom bag, put the roll, load it up, go and do all the developing in the washroom itself, and go to the office, and like the guy is like, darkroom man, roll kahan dhote ho? Maine kaha wo nahi पूछने का. Okay, but you have got your processed roll. Is it over? Is it under? No, it's perfect. So that is not the question. Now, whichever is the best picture, give the news, give the picture, and then again go, because I did not have a place to stay in Surat. So I used to travel 70 kilometers ahead to Bharuch, stay at one of my friend's place because raat ki train nahi thi to come back. Then in the morning, take the train, come back to Mumbai. So that was my life for 3 years of JJ School of Arts, doing this. But it was a fabulous journey which I had, and post finishing of my college, is when I had to decide whether I should go into the photojournalism field or take up a commercial field. But during that same period, I went in through what I would say a near-death life experience. Okay, when the riots happened in Surat. So Surat and Mumbai used to be like neck to neck with those numbers. People dead in Surat versus people dead in Mumbai. And every day coming to the office, we used to ask one question: "Aaj ka score kya hua hai?" As we like what now we ask in when cricket match is happening, especially India-Pakistan match, we used to ask na score kya hua hai. That way we used to ask in our office, score kya hua hai. And in that time, I was caught in a very bad riot situation in which I faced near-death experience. All that thing which happened did make me think, and when I came back to the office, I was like shivering. And my photo editor asked, "Kya ho gaya?" मैंने कहा ऐसे ऐसे हो गया. बोलता है okay. And then I just, for the sake of asking him, I asked him, "Say आज by chance अगर जो मैं मर गया होता, तो क्या होता?" And he was like, हाँ 50,000 rupees आपका ग्रुप इंश्योरेंस है, वो आपके पेरेंट्स को मिल गया होता. Said okay, चलो 50,000. And anything else? बोलता है yeah, then all the people who are working in Sandesh newspaper, they contribute to 1 day's salary to your welfare fund which will come to you. I said okay, is that the value of your life? And that is the time when I had to decide, because photojournalism that time, that is 1990s, was not what it is now. And I thought of taking a deep dive into the situation and then started working under Guru Shishya Parampara, learning commercial photography. I could not afford to go to US or go and learn at Brooks Institute or go to Rochester or something and learn over there. The other option was anybody who had learned from there, go and work with them. So I started working with a lot of commercial photographers, go in, work, and that is the same time when my daughter was born. She's here in front of you all, and that's Rucha. So she was born, and just imagine a condition, a position in which you are father of a daughter, okay, and you are still learning. Tough choice, very tough choice. Trust me, that is like a $1 million big question mark which comes in front of everybody. And I was confident about what I was doing and what I could do. And that's how the journey started, with Kodak coming in first. The first activity with Kodak was a disaster. Simple reason, learn from JJ School of Arts, your fundamentals, your base was like absolutely rock steady. And when somebody, though even a senior to you person, when he challenges you, saying that, nahi aap bata rahe ho, galat bata rahe ho, you can't take that. And that's when I told sir, let's decide on the thing. And I went into proving it to that person, that whatever you're saying is not correct, whatever I'm doing is correct. And then second day, I get a call from Kodak office saying that thank you very much for doing the activity, but very sorry, we can't work with you. I said, okay, fine, no problem. Can you give me a reason why I should not be working with you? And they were like, you get into confrontation. कुछ भी होगा तो आप तलवार निकालते हो. मैंने कहा, okay. But end of the day, I did prove that that senior person, he was called in to be felicitated for being in photography field for 50 years. And he was a gentleman who was saying that this thing is not correct. And I proved it. Sir, you are wrong. I've learned it from the best. I know the facts of it. But again, like 3 odd months down the line, get a call from Kodak that, sir, Nimach, Mansur, Ratlam is where you'll have to go and teach photography. I said, sorry, I don't teach. I just share my knowledge. If that is okay with you, then okay. If you want me to go and teach, I'm not the person. And that's how Kodak Association started. It went on for quite some time, and then came in one movement, okay, in which I was told to go and share my experience in 15 minutes. That what do you think the digital technology will do to the photographic industry? And that presentation which I made, I was with maximum number of boo from the crowd. Close to 800 odd executives from Kodak had come in for that thing in Goa. And I said that digital technology is coming and has come in for good to stay. Remember that. Second point, that this technology is what I call them as disruptive technology. It will come in and it is going to disrupt the whole system. And it will change a lot of things. And end of the booing session, the VP, Mr. Suresh Iyer, comes to me and tells me that Pritesh, अगर जो ऐसा कोई statement करना है तो पहले मुझसे बात कर लिया होता. This is not a statement which you make in front of this gathering. All people from Kodak and all the bigwigs are over here. I said, okay, I'm accepting that, but the whole thing is, this is the reality. You are stuck with your films and you want that to be going on continuously. मैंने कहा, you will have to improve, you will have to upgrade, you will have to upskill, or you will be gone. That is the fact. That's the fact of life. And I said, okay, let's see. And that is the day when close to 9,000 people were working directly and close to 28,000 people were working indirectly with Kodak. And today, only one person from Kodak is handling the India operations. Only one person. The company filed for bankruptcy in the US court of law, and that's how they have gone out of business. For your information, I'm telling you one thing, that the first digital camera on planet Earth was made by an engineer from Kodak. Now just imagine the company which has done R&D, has made that camera, and he's being chucked out of the company. Why? इसके अंदर रोल कौन सा यूज होगा, is what his bosses asked him. And he said, this doesn't use rolls. It has films in it. It does not have film. It will have digital. And he was chucked out. मैंने कहा, that is not something new to me. This history has been there, and if you don't improve, you get outdated. To all of us, we will have to update, we'll have to upscale, and we'll have to be on top of everything. That's technology.
It was such an inspiring story, so especially the whole thing about future of photography. It was very enlightening. It's very brave of you, because at that time there was quite a stigma around changing your career from a science field to a creative field. Props to you, sir. The next question I would like to ask you, sir, what is your creative process during a photo shoot like?
Fabulous. The first and foremost thing is, whenever an assignment does come to this thing, to take down as much as details from the client as possible. The second part is doing a recce. What do you mean by recce? Recce, reconnaissance. You go to that location, go see that area, do all the study of what you would like to have in the final thing. And if there are changes or if there is anything, you go and have that thing, put that in place, and then you start doing the main assignment. Doing all this, the main part comes in, you will have to go and give the client a proper written quotation of whatever work that you have to do. Creative part comes in post that. Once all your budget and everything is passed, then you can go in with the production. Because if your budget is not being passed, there is no way on working all these things in the first time. So go have a look, do the recce, do all your study, and then come in with your final thing, that what you would like to have from them. And then comes in the final process, in which you will see in the future the work which you do. In fact, the work which I put in over here, which you saw, was not the commercial work. It is something that you do for yourself. There is a creative side of you, and there is something which is the dal roti. Okay, so dal roti is different and the creative side is different. Something you do for yourself and something which you do to earn the money.
I wonder, sir, if that creative process differs in different types of photography, considering you've
100%.
done almost all of it, fashion, brands, landscape, you just name it.
Yes, for each and every aspect, it goes on changing. There are times in which you have to improvise. There are times in which you have to change your whole idea about what you want to do. There are times in which your client says that, Chief, I would want these shoots to be done in this specific way. And that is the time when you do it according to his way, but give him a glimpse of what you can do. Give him a taster. I'm very sure all these repeat clients which I've had are the clients who come in with their own brief, with their own set of ideas, and end of the day comes in and says, last time what you had done, we feel that हमने जो बताया था वो एक साइड में, लेकिन आपने जो वो shots दिए थे ना, we want it in that style. Why is that happening? Because those are the shots which came from your heart. There are times in which there are clients who will say, we want it this way, but finally they come to a conclusion ki it is better to have it this way because these look much better. Right from shooting motorbikes on Worli Sea Link, technically you're not allowed to go and shoot over there. We have gone and shot motorbikes, the Hayabusa and the Kawasaki Ninja on there for an American magazine, and those were like, we want these kind of shots. I said, okay, fine, I'll give you these shots, but I'll have totally, before the security people arrive, I'll have max to max 3 to 5 minutes in which I'll have to wind up everything and we'll have to run from there, because officially you can't be caught on the Worli Sea Link. And if you're caught, then you are going to be put behind bars. So we had to go shoot, and then motorbike wala to bhag jayega. What can we do in a car? We can't run. So it was a kind of like, go do the assignment and move out immediately. We knew the time of the day which we had chosen was very early in the morning, when there's not much of a rush or anything. But then too, they are very guarded about what people can do. So all you have to have different. See, let me put, being a foodie, let me put it in a different example. If you want to make butter chicken, if you want to make dal tadka, if you want to make pitla, the recipe and the ingredients are all going to be different. It can't be same. So the same way it goes in for photography also, it will all be constantly changing according to what is finally going to be presented.
I see, sir. Now let's delve into a more technical side of photography. How do you go about approaching lighting and composition in your photography?
Yes. So referencing is a big time thing which your client normally gives you nowadays. And at those given point of times, you had something called as the creative art book, which was there and it is still there. So people who were the best in the industry used to have reference books printed, and you could go refer to those books, and now it is the internet which gives you those references. Clients do tell, ye aisa hi shot chahiye. I know. They give you the reference of that shot in which they want a tiger, but probably they have the budget of a cat. So now it is your skill to show that cat as a tiger. 90% of the time it happens that way. 10% of the time it is like, budget is not an issue. Please go ahead and do the best of what you can. So that is how it goes on nowadays. I'm putting the, I'm not mincing words, but it is like, that is the fact which we undergo day in and day out.
In a similar line of questions, sir, how do you approach emotions and ambiguous things like storytelling?
Wow. Let me take you into a flashback. Flashback close to, in fact, that gentleman is my mentor for my my final the research paper which I'm writing. He's a gentleman from Australia, Dr. Williams. I did attend his workshop close to like 27 odd years back, 27, 28 years back. And he had come to do a workshop for Kodak India Limited. And at that time, Kodak had charged us 3,000 rupees per person. Trust me, 28 years back, 1 day workshop of 6 to 8 hours, 3,000 rupees was a huge amount. It was a pretty high amount. And that was the time when I did think that should I or should I not go. But I thought, nahi, let me go to this workshop and do the activity. I did go on this thing that I asked the Kodak people that if I could interact with that mentor more. So they said that एक करते हैं, airport से लेके आने से लेके सब आप ही को करना है फिर. And I was like, I'm absolutely okay with it. Till the time I'm so close to him, I'm attending all his activity, looking at his thought process, I was okay with it. And I did that, and that workshop actually turned out to be one of the turning points in my life, because he did a workshop for wedding photography. And he asked me at least 1,000 questions for a wedding, that what is this gold thing with that black beads, what is that called as? Right from that he started off. Who carries it? Why does this happen? Why does this thing happen? Why is this girl in a yellow sari? Why is this girl having so much of turmeric on her face? All that thing, there were 1,000 questions which he asked. And at 2 o'clock in the night, this gentleman, he comes up with a question all these albums which I've seen, I'd taken something like 12 odd albums for him to see of different photographers. He saw all that, and he said that, are these by one photographer or they are all by different people? I said, sir, behind each and every album is the name of the photographer and his phone number and his address. These are all 12 different people. And at 2 o'clock in the night, जिसको बोलते ना सीधे हाथ का तमाचा नहीं उल्टे हाथ का तमाचा दिया, he whacked me my brains out of it. And that was I don't see a emotion in this. This is like an FIR of a wedding. First information report. Okay, किधर चोरी हुई, कहाँ चोरी हुई, कब चोरी हुई, किसने चोरी की, did you know the... I said, okay, but when he talked to me in that sense, it did change my perspective that what he's telling is not wrong. That is what we have been doing. That is what we have done. And that is the time when I felt that we need to have more emotions, more things to be covered in a wedding scenario. And covering of that wedding, which at that time had become sort of bread and butter for me, did change a lot. And post doing those changes, a lot of improvement happened in my work. And by that time, I started getting clients who are still my clients. I've been shooting for the Bajaj family. I've been shooting for the Goenka family. I've been shooting for the Piramal family, shooting for the Birla family. So I became their photographers. And it's close to 30 years now. I've been associated with them. All these clients which I'm telling, they are on my phone call list. And one incident which I also would like to tell you is Meenakshi Bajaj, Mr. Shishir Bajaj's wife. Okay, one of the very important person in the family. She called me up and I was shooting and I could not take her call, and I called her close to 5 hours post my shoot was going on. So 5-6 घंटे के बाद, when it got over, I gave her a call. And she's telling up, Bajaj का call नहीं लेते हो? And I said, I'm very sorry ma'am, I could not take your call, but you can recollect, and if you do want to, you can always do a cross verification on that. Whenever I come to you, you are my Tata, Birlas and Bajajs. When I go to a second client I'm shooting over there, that client is my Tata, Birla and Bajaj. And that stuck to that lady, and she has shared it with the whole family that he is what he is. You have to be focused on what you're doing. this is a generation which I see a lot of Bluetooth being over here. He's speaking to somebody else and he's shooting over here. I've never believed in that. When you are doing it, you are focused on your shooting part, not on that. Your brain can do multitasking, okay? But your heart can be only at one person. Back of the mind, you can be thinking 100 things. But when you are doing, give full justice to what you're doing. So that is something which is very, very important, which I feel.
I'm sure the budding photographers amongst us have
Yes.
picked up great things from that. So before we dive into the next segment of our show, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
सर्वोत्तम उच्च शिक्षण म्हटलं म्हणजे एकच नाव, पुण्यातील सर्वात एस्टीम्ड नॅक अक्रेडिटेड विद्यापीठ टिळक महाराष्ट्र विद्यापीठ. TMV मध्ये आता ऍडमिशन्स ओपन आहेत फॉर डिप्लोमा, बॅचलर्स अँड मास्टर्स डिग्री इन जर्नलिझम अँड मास कम्युनिकेशन, BSc इन प्रोफेशनल ऑडिओ टेक्नॉलॉजी, BA इन म्युझिक प्रोडक्शन, BA इन जर्नलिझम अँड मास कम्युनिकेशन, तसेच ॲडव्हान्स डिप्लोमा कोर्सेस इन साऊंड रेकॉर्डिंग टेक्नॉलॉजी, म्युझिक प्रोडक्शन अँड व्हिडिओ प्रोडक्शन, ऑडिओ प्रोडक्शन, व्हिडिओ प्रोडक्शन अँड न्यूज प्रोडक्शन मध्ये एवेट सर्टिफिकेशन देणारे भारतातील एकमेव विद्यापीठ म्हणजेच TMV.
टिळक महाराष्ट्र विद्यापीठ, अभिमत विद्यापीठ, 101 वर्षांची शैक्षणिक परंपरा. आजच tmvmassmedia.com ला भेट द्या किंवा कॉल 9112249372.
Welcome back to Manthan 2023. We are here with our esteemed guest, Mr. Pritesh Rao. So let's get right back into it. I wanted to ask you, what's your favorite photo?
Oh my God, that's probably a very tough question. Uh, I would say each and every picture that a photographer shoots is his favorite. That's the reason he has pressed that button. Okay, but now the things have changed a bit with digital technology coming in. I would say people have gone trigger happy. They've gone trigger happy. What do you mean by trigger happy? They will feel like these pictures shoot kar lete hain, then one picture we can select. But with the negatives is what I feel people were very prudent of using each and every frame to the best of what they could shoot on with. And only when that guy inside said, boss, shoot this frame, that is the time we used to shoot. Now it is, you are trigger happy, but there are a lot of frames which are there, and especially something which I do for my own self, okay? Some of the pictures which I shared, those are very close to my heart. Simple reason is, they are not for any monetary reason or anything. That has come in from your inner self, and that is when this guy says, कुछ हटके करते हैं, कुछ तूफानी करते हैं. That is the time you start doing it. Fine art has started helping me a lot in this sector, fine art photography, and that is what I've been doing quite a lot now, and that is something which appeals me a lot now. That is one sector in that thing is painting with light. So I've come back to the basics of it. Photography actually means, in Greek words, photos and graphos. Photos is light and graphos is to draw. So drawing with the help of light. So that is the whole series which I've been doing. You'll see it soon. And one more section which again as a part of my study is shooting images with fisheye lenses. It's a very unforgiving lens. Been working on that for the last, I would say, 4 years. From 4 years, you'll have to remove out those 2 years of COVID. Probably everybody would like to do the Alt Control Delete to those 2 years, and still working on it. So whenever I do get a chance, I do work with my fisheye lens. That's something which I do love, and those images are the ones which I adore.
I see, sir. So what has been a particularly challenging photo shoot for you, which pushed you to try new things?
Oh, lovely, lovely. By the way, I was expecting this question some or the other way. Have you heard the name Napoleon Bonaparte? Napoleon, Emperor Napoleon. So Mumbai, there was a lady by the name of Leela Naidu, Dom Morris' wife, the person who was the editor-in-chief of Afternoon Dispatch and Courier. It's a newspaper. It was an eveninger, and the gift was to the wife. That was Leela Naidu. And she wanted to actually sell off that, and she approached 2 auction houses in, which is like the world renowned, Sotheby's and Christie's. So I was one of the panel photographer, and I was told that you'll have to go and shoot the shawl. The length of the shawl was very modest, like 24 feet odd, 24 feet ki shawl thi, and the width was close to like 4 feet by 24 feet. And first I went and I saw it, and I said, okay, we'll do it. And then the thought came in, like 24 feet of shawl to be shot. How can you shoot it? How can you shoot it? So you will have to do something by which you should get it properly. And then I started talking to the agency people. And they were like, sir, we do appreciate your idea of putting that thing on a softboard with pins and shooting it. But the only problem is the corners of that shawl, jhalar jisko bolte na, that will droop down. We don't want that thing to happen. It should be like absolutely proper. मैंने कहा उसको वैसे शूट कर पाएंगे. The second thing is you'll have to lay it flat on the ground. But if you lay it flat on the ground, then you'll have to go aerial shot. You'll have to do an aerial shot for that. And they are, yes, maybe we'll have to think of something of that sort. And then again, I went back to the client, asked the client, like, we'll have to take it to a proper studio and get it done. And that lady was absolutely no. This shawl is not going out of the house till the time this shot is done. और बाहर लेके जाके shoot करना, sorry, I'll tell, we don't want to sell the thing. And the client was like, please, if you can convince her. And then finally I convinced her that, ma'am, if it's possible, then I'll do it at your place only. But then this whole place, your main hall which is there, we'll have to empty the hall and do the stuff. And she said, I'm okay with that. And we had a team of packers and movers moving all our stuff to the other rooms. So this hall became empty. We put in a white paper sheet, chart paper on the bottom, went on top, removed her fan. The old buildings have a ceiling of, in Mumbai, South Mumbai, like 15 and 18 feet ka ceilings hai. So we removed her fan from the ceiling, put the camera on the ceiling. Okay, now wo to attach kar diya, shoot kaisa karoge? That was the $1 million question. And it was 120 format. So only you could do the Polaroid, and that is what you could check. The final transparencies and the negatives which you shot were supposed to be given directly to the client. Polaroid was your digital at that time. So you shot it, you got your exposure and everything correct, and that is what you had to give to the client. Show him, get it approved, and then once that is done, you go and shoot your final transparencies and negatives. You were like 18 feet up in the air on a ladder. Now just imagine 18 feet and you are shooting and you are on one side. So the whole ladder gets a bit imbalanced type. So there are at least 8 people holding on to that ladder नीचे से, बीच में से rope पकड़ के उसको पीछे से खींच के रखे थे, and I was shooting and we shot that. And end of the day, it was like the shoot is perfectly done. I could not shoot it with the tele lens which I would have loved to shoot. I had to shoot it with a normal lens. That was a 127 lens on my Mamiya. And we shot that shot and the client loved it. The client was happy about that shot, and even Leela ma'am was like, you did a very good job. And that was one of the challenging shoots which came to life. And probably I have not even shared the thing with my daughter too. It's probably the first time she is hearing it. So that's how it goes on. There are tons of experiences, because that is what I've gathered over the last 33 years now. That is what I've gathered. That's the experience. That's what you have been doing.
That was so ingenious of you, sir. Love to see the problem-solving skills. Now, you addressed the digital revolution and photography earlier. Can you elaborate more on that?
The whole idea is, being an electronic engineer, I started working on with chemicals and stuff like that. That was negatives, right? So black and white negatives is what I learned from JJ School of Arts. How to do work with developing that, printing of that, all that. Plus, you went on upgrading. But then came in a stage in which digital revolution started coming in. And that is the moment when I went into this mode. Yes. They say now you must be seeing a lot of memes going in with that pose. So I went in with that and I said that now it is the time for me to excel. The simple reason was digital was something which I had learned. So any knowledge that you have learned never goes in waste. Some or the other where it is going to come to use. And that's how I came into digital technology. It was by what you can say by default, but everything said and done, JJ School of Arts, we had 105 people who graduated from my batch, and right now only 2 people are with the current most thing and they are doing photography till this date. Rest everybody moved out. Including my wife. Rucha's mom, she was actually a senior to me in photography. She started doing photography from 1988. I went into it in 1990. Post that, whenever she went to shoot weddings and stuff like that, I was the person who used to go and help her to load rolls, put the batteries for charging, take care of the camera bags and all. That was my job, and shoot one roll of portraits candidly or whatever way I could. One roll is what was given to me. Okay, so I had to make the best out of those 36 frames, and for that matter, it was never 36 frames which I got. I always got 40 frames out of that roll, because the way you loaded the roll, that skill which I had developed during that time period used to give me 40 frames, and that was one thing कि 4 frame extra मिले हैं, and that was the whole idea. But digital technology came in, and it has come in a big way. The whole thing of me being associated with Canon for the last 25 years, in fact this December I completed 25 years with them, is again an achievement, because you are something who is absolutely unsatisfied and want to learn more and more. That is the same reason post this activity, again 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. is when I'll again be online, and that is the time when people from Japan, people from US, and people, all the mentors who are from India, we are all going to connect for that 1 hour and take the things forward for this quarter, that is Jan, Feb and March. So this meeting was due. So we'll all meet, talk about things that we would want, what can be the future, what it is going to lead out to. So that talk is going to happen. So always keep on gathering knowledge. So either it is sharing or it is gathering. So either you are in receptive mode or you are in giving mode. That is the way it goes on.
Amazing, sir. So can you give some tips to the budding photographers among us how to build a successful career in photography?
Brilliant. So first and foremost thing is, you will need to start working on from day one. There is not a day, there is not a time when you will say, आज बुखार आया है, आज शूट नहीं करता हूँ, आज ठीक नहीं लग रहा, आज शूट नहीं करते हैं. That can be like endless thing that you can go on and on. Start shooting from day one, and there should not be a single day when you do not take up the camera in your hand to practice that skill. Lata Mangeshkar Didi, you all know, the same building on the next wing, that is, they shared a common wall, is where one of my, what you can say, one of my gurus in photography, Viren Desai, he stays in Prabhu Kunj, the same building in which Lata Didi used to stay. Lata Didi did practice her songs till the end of the whole thing. Why? She was already like the epitome of what it can be as a singer. But if Lata Didi can and was practicing, who are we? We also need to go on practicing our skills, and that is the only way you will have to build up your own portfolio. The gentleman from whom I have learned photography, okay, had one thing when I went and met him and I asked him that, Mukesh sir, please tell me that these pictures which I see are absolutely different from what the world shoots. What is that that makes those pictures the trademark of Mukesh Parpiani? He was the photo editor-in-chief for the Indian Express group of newspapers. And he was like, okay, I will tell you, but you need to give me some time. Today the exhibition has started, so you have seen it, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Next day I went, he did not speak to me. Third day, sir aake chale gaye. Fourth day, sir late aane wale hain. Fifth day, sixth day, seventh day, the exhibition is going to get over. And I've still not met him, and I said that nothing doing, I'm not going till the time I'm going to meet this gentleman. The last day is like, yaar, aaj sab exhibition ke pictures nikal rahe, today I can't meet you, I'm very sorry. And I said, sir, please tell me when I can come and meet you. Come and meet me tomorrow in the office. I said, very good. Excellent opportunity to go and meet him in his domain, in his territory. I land up at his place, and that is one Guru Mantra which he gave me. And that Guru Mantra was whenever you go to shoot a picture, you have just started out. So go there once, go there twice, go there thrice. Every day, whatever equipment you're going to be shooting with, carry all your equipments. I said, okay, 1 दिन हो गया, 2 दिन हो गया, 4 दिन हो गया. बोलता है, go there for 30 days continuously. I was like, okay. If say like 15th day, I skip, very simple. Start 16th day as day 1. And I was like, okay, that means I can't afford to even take one chutti. 30 days. After 30 days, sir, go and shoot only one picture. Come develop that picture and then you do that print of that picture and study what has gone wrong in it. And I was like, okay, let me try this technique which sir is telling me, and that's how I started doing pictures. So like I used to start walking from CST station and go up to Nariman Point. That's close to 3.5 kilometers walk. So that 3.5 kilometers and all the pictures that I was supposed to do, I'd chosen a topic of available light photography. That means my pictures would start out at post sunset till sunrise. That means in the night time. That is the time I could devote, because daytime was already given to a lot of other activities. And I used to go and shoot pictures, but doing that journey every day, now those hawkers, those vendors, the people, everybody started recognizing me that he's some guy who comes in every day, does something and then goes back. And that was the pictures which I presented as my final portfolio in JJ School of Arts. That was one part of it. And the second part was doing all this. I think it was my 3rd or 4th picture in that series, in which I shot a small kid who was sitting in a buggy, that is horse cart, buggy thi. So there was an old gentleman, and I used to see this couple coming in with a small kid. Every 8-15 days they used to come in. The kid used to be sitting near the chacha, who used to be with the chabuk, and that kid used to sit over there. Mom, dad used to sit behind, and they used to go for a round and come back. So I just used to every day see them, and one day I shot a picture of that kid and the buggy shot in that light. And I was standing over there only. The person, he went around and he came back. And he came back and he shared me his visiting card, saying that आपने जो मेरे बच्चे का और हमारा जो फ़ोटो शूट किया है, वो फ़ोटो अगर जो हो सके अच्छा है तो आप हमें आके इस एड्रेस पे दे देना. And I was like, I was more than happy to go and oblige for that. I went to the address which was given. It was opposite Pancharatna building. Pancharatna was the diamond hub before Bharat Diamond Brows came into Mumbai. So Pancharatna was the whole building which had all the diamond people over there. And I go to this gentleman and I find out that he is also a diamond merchant. And I gave him the print and made a 8 inches by 10 inches ka print, and I had given it to him. And the receptionist came out and said that sir ne aapko rukne ke liye bula hai. I said, okay, probably he wants to speak to me. I go inside, he talks to me nicely, and then he gives me a packet, envelope, and I was like, sir, I did not do it for the money part. He's telling, no, I don't feel that you have done it for the money part, okay? You did it for your own project, you did it for your own thing, but this is what I feel this picture is worth. And he gave me that packet. And trust me, that packet was one of the biggest booster which I got in my life, because for one picture, getting 5,000 rupees that time was a huge amount, huge amount. That gentleman is still in touch with me and I still shoot with him. I've shot his paintings, I've shot his collection of paintings, all that thing. But that is the way you go on developing. So that one picture, you see, it can lead into so many different things. You need to go in with the flow. If you are dedicated, if you feel the passion for it, that is definitely going to help you in doing your job. But every day that camera should be done. At least shoot 10 pictures a day. At least shoot 10 pictures a day. Trust me, start doing this exercise, and 30th day, you will see what improvement you do in your pictures. It will be much, much, much better, because every day what you see is, you see one thing and the other, then the other, then the other. But then you come to know the finer points of it, and then you do the final thing. So that is one thing which I always tell and guide my students. That means you will need to be passionate about it, and you will have to go on continuously practicing, because practice is what makes you perfect.
Wow, sir. I'm sure everyone must look at photography with a new light. Now, sir, what is your proudest accomplishment as a photographer?
Proudest, I wouldn't say one of the proudest, but something which will always remember, which I will always remember for my lifetime, was the moment, it happened 3 years back, is when the outgoing VP of Canon, we had all gone to Kerala, because as mentors, we are supposed to go and test out the cameras, which Canon is going to launch probably 6 months or 1 year ahead. So we go in, do the testing and everything, and for which we have to sign something that is called as a non-disclosure bond, NCB. So I can't even tell my wife, my daughter, that where am I going and what am I going to go and do over there. Now they have also stopped asking me that question. Okay. The last day of the seminar bolna galat hai, the testing, we had booked a flight in which they were supposed to come, and then I would join them for another 5 days with the family. So that is what we normally do, a combination. So during that meeting, the outgoing VP is introducing me to the incoming VP, that meet Pritesh Rao. Now a Canon VP knowing your name is like, kuch to hai. And he's introducing me to the incoming VP and telling me that probably your service and my service in Kodak put together, he has put in more service to Kodak, to Canon, दोनों का combine करके है, उससे ज़्यादा इन बंदों ने service दी. And both of them, like, they are like, they normally they wish you and greet you like this. And I was like, sir, इतना कमर में से बहुत झुकाओ, कुछ हो जाएगा. But that is the whole thing. So they were like, that was probably the moment which I felt like, oh my God, what is exactly happening? That was a moment which has really touched me, and it has stayed with me.
That sounds amazing, sir. Now, I'm sure the audience must be pretty curious to ask you questions too. So let's go there. If anyone has any questions, please shoot.
Hello, sir. Last time we met at the Geo World Center for the photo fair, and you gave us a challenge that to take 5 pictures in the same room every day, and the same composition should not be repeated. And I think it challenged me in the first week itself. So do you have any more tips or challenges for beginner photographers who want to keep improving?
Brilliant. That is what I would say, that is like a female Ekalavya. Okay. She did take up that challenge. Okay. So go on practicing, go on shooting. The more you practice, the more you learn, is more the better you're going to do. Okay. But it is just not that. The second part comes in. Now is a time in which you will have to go on putting it up in front of the people to take their reviews. Remember, I've spoken to Steve McCurry. Steve McCurry, everybody does know. The ace, I would say, in NG, a person who has shot the Afghan girl, Sharbat Gul, and in the history of National Geographic, it's only twice that a certain face is repeated on the cover page. That was of Sharbat Gul, that the lady who was the Afghan girl. Okay, we have spoken to that gentleman also. His statement was, when you put up some pictures and you get 500 likes, it doesn't make you a photographer. The picture should come in from inside, and that should touch the hearts of the people. So you will see in all his pictures, whatever controversy, whatever things have been spoken and told about him, keep that aside, but it does mean a lot. It does mean a lot. Constantly go on practicing, shooting, talking, experiencing, and the best part is go on traveling. Travel as much as possible so you can explore things. Till the time you do not travel, you don't come out of your comfort zone, okay, it becomes very difficult to explore new things. You will have to move out of your comfort zone. There are times in which you will have to go without food, water, hoga, okay, but you will have to stick on to that.
Hello, sir. What would you respond if a client was completely unhappy with their photo and if they wanted a replacement?
Okay. So probably I've not personally faced a situation in which the client says, I'm not happy with your pictures, okay. Personally, I haven't gone in through that situation. The best part is you will need to know how to sell your pictures. If you know how to sell your pictures, even if you know that there is a mistake which you have done, okay, you should be able to sell that mistake to the client, telling that what is good in it. And that is what one of our sirs from fashion designing, Vikram Mathur sir, always tells us that दर्जी के हाथ से जब गलत जगह में कैंची लगती है ना तो नई फैशन बनती है. Okay, there are tons of times in which my flash is not fired, there is an issue with something and probably that flash is not fired. So I have one of the technique which I normally go in with, that is doing Alt Control U. What is that short form of? Anybody who does Photoshop work? Yes? Alt Control U. Command U. Mac में करते हो तो. That is turning your pictures into black and whites. Okay, that's the shortcut. And people are like, wow, this picture looks so beautiful. You look so nice in this black and white. Sir, ऐसे ही picture shoot करना. And I can't tell them that ये मेरी गलती थी. Okay. So, but it does happen that you go in through a situation, but you'll need to know how you can push those pictures. There is one client from whom we were shooting, and again in that evening light, I was making the people who had come with them for that pre-wedding, I was making them jump, and the couple were head to head, and we were doing that shot. And it so happened that our flash did not fire on the couple. Okay, and I thought like, okay, chalo flash fire nahi hui hai, let me do a test marketing on this. And I opened up that image and I told them that ये black and white में कितना अच्छा लग रहा है. What did black and white नहीं, I had completely turned into blue tone. Okay, and I showed it to them, and the couple were, wow, this looks so beautiful. जो light के साथ में था वो तो images देनी है, but doing this was actually a technical mistake on my side. The flash did not fire, the trigger did not trigger the flash, but then that was sold to the client, and that was their DP for quite some time. And there were a lot of people who looking at the DP, हमको भी ऐसे picture shoot कराना है. So that mistake which you had done was sold. So that is something which you will need to develop, and that confidence by which you are telling, that confidence has to be there. If you're not confident, like, sir, ये picture कैसे लगी? You go in with that and you are caught. So you need to be confident first. That is I would like to tell. I haven't gone in through personally that situation, and hope it doesn't, I don't have to face that kind of a situation, because normally now the technology has changed so much that whatever you're shooting is what your client is seeing. There's one more incident which I would like to share with you. Satya Paul designer. You all have heard that name, Satya Paul. He passed off. His younger brother, Satish Nanda, we were shooting for his son's wedding in Delhi. And we had gone in Delhi with 4 people's team. That means I had 2 videographers and 2 photographers and myself. So totally 5 people were there. And we were told, आज शाम को लड़के के तरफ से लड़कियों की तरफ से आज का शाम का event है, and they are going to have their team of like 20 odd people and they are going to come and shoot. I said, very good, हम लोग 5 हैं. I'm more than happy with that coverage. But what happened, we started shooting and we were like wondering, ये अभी तक लड़की का जो photographer है वो अभी तक आया नहीं है. The client, the groom's father, Mr. Satish Nanda, told us that आज शाम को आपको chill करना है, आपको enjoy करना है, आपको कुछ shoot नहीं करना है. क्योंकि आज अपना इवेंट है नहीं, आज लड़की वालों का इवेंट है. And we were like, okay, fine, no problem. But still, we would like to carry our cameras and everything. And we would like to just do a small Reiki sort of a thing, know the groom's people, the bride's people, because it was the first time we were shooting for that client. And we started shooting, and almost like an hour into the shoot, I downloaded the first card. It got full. I downloaded the card and I was seeing it. And then suddenly somebody tapped me from behind and said, "Sir, एक minute रुक जाओ, मैं अभी किसी को और को बुलाता हूँ." And like I was like, कौन पूछ रहा है ये? And I saw behind it was the boy's father who had gone and called in the girl's father, and both of them they sat with me. Okay, abhi photo batao. And they started seeing the pictures, and like in 5 minutes time they both got up and said, "Sir, आपके total कितने लोग आए?" मैंने कहा 2 photographer है, 2 videographer है. Okay, he took his phone, he called him, the other photographer, ठीक है आपका flight delay हो रहा है ना, आप flight cancel कर दो, आप मत आओ, ये हमारा team बम्बई से आया है, वही cover कर देगा. And he said that, "Sir, 10 people from your team were going to come and cover it. We are 10-15 people are going to come and cover it. हम लोग सिर्फ 4-5 लोग हैं. We have seen these pictures and we know what the gentleman is capable of. Okay, you shoot the wedding." That is the day, and today is the day. That gentleman, we are in touch with each other. We have just not shot their weddings, we have shot umpteenth number of campaigns for them. All their shoots is what me and my team goes and does. Where did it come down from? It was something which at that given point of time, you saw, you did, and the client got happy with it. And you just did not land up with that shoot, both the sided, but also the future shoots from both the families. When the album first, the elder sister's wedding album, it came to the girl's side. That is the time when the younger sister who was there, Meenu, she is telling her mom and dad, like, "Papa, Mummy, एक चीज़ तो फिक्स है, लड़का या जो भी आपको लड़का मेरे लिए चूज़ करना है वो आप चूज़ कर लेना, फोटोग्राफर मैंने चूज़ कर लिया है, यही फोटो बंदा हमारे वेडिंग का यही शूट करेगा." And is like, his daddy is looking at, "Okay बेटा." But that gentleman did keep his word. They had the wedding in Rajasthan, and me and my whole team went and we shot that wedding. Probably it was a awesome experience because it's the first time when we saw elephant polo. We were sitting on an elephant and shooting pictures. We were shooting pictures from all the places possible, and we got that kind of an experience. So that is something which goes on and on. These can probably go on for like 10 hours also, but खत्म नहीं होंगे, इतने सारे किस्से. Anybody else? How to approach a client as a beginner? First and foremost is you will need to have your own portfolio ready. There are times in which probably you will have to go on shooting for yourself, go on building up your portfolio. One. Second layer comes in where you will have to start doing collaborative shoots. What do you mean by collaborative shoots? He or she wants a picture. You are a skilled artist. You go and shoot pictures. You don't charge money for that. Okay? Do 5-10 shoots that way. Now you have got that thing with you. Your portfolio is built and ready. Now you are open to go and approach your clients. Once you approach your clients, you will have to show your clients, present your clients, and your presentation should be like, it should make the first impression, because first impression is the last impression. That's how you can build up. In fact, I will also share one more incident with this same thing. I've never been shooting of 5-star hotel properties. So interior and exterior and everything of Leela group had to be shot. So Leela Kempinski, it was Leela Penta first, then it became Leela Kempinski, and then it came to Leela. And I was told to go and shoot that property, whole hotel. And 6 photographers from all over India, we were pitching for that client. Going into that meeting room, I saw my seniors and the doyen of the industries coming in and doing their presentation. They had those big portfolio cases rehte hai na. In that they were showing huge massive prints to the client, and for that matter that client was the general manager, Mr. Philip Sherrado, was like, he was seeing all those things and like, okay, what is that quotation which the client which are going to charge, and he was looking at everything. He was studying everything, and after doing this study, he was supposed to give us the shoot. He saw everything, and then the last was my number, and I just opened up my laptop and I started showing. And that laptop also was not my own laptop. It was a borrowed laptop. Okay. So I had my Photoshop artist, Rakesh Soni. He is one of the good photographers right now in Hyderabad. He was my Photoshop artist and he was there, and we showed them one property which we had shot for second client in Mud Island. That was like pro bono shoot. We did not get paid money for that shoot. But as a portfolio, it had come. For that, we had given and we were called in, and I started showing those pictures. And then I said that, he's asking me, are you not going to shoot Polaroids of our property? I said, sir, my Polaroid is going to be like 12 inches big. Okay, which is that camera? And I removed the digital camera, kept it in front of him, and I shoot a picture of you right now. You can see your picture over here. Telling, okay, good. And he was a bit impressed by that. Second shot, when I showed him, I told him that, sir, this planter over here, is it disturbing? He's telling, yeah, I would not prefer a planter over here. Very good. I also did not like it. And then we just had the layer ready. I just had to go and tick that layer so that thing closed down. That planter was gone and the shot was there. Wow, you can do this. Is it so quick? No, sir, Photoshop work happens, but post-production work happens. And that gentleman was like, okay, good, nice, very nice. And we could hear things. And like, bahar, I could also hear things, khusur pusur ho rahi hai, because we were talking over here and this guy is exclaiming, one after another exclamation is coming in. Wow, good, very nice, beautiful. And like, मैंने कहा देखते हैं अभी. And then end of the day, we were shooting for the Leela Mumbai, then we went to Leela Goa, Leela Bangalore, Leela Delhi. We went and shot all these properties. So that is how you need to go approach. Where did it start off? For me, shooting pro bono for a client. No charges paid. But where did it land up? Me getting an assignment which was worth more than 15-18 lakh rupees at that time. It does help a lot when you are focused in your job. So having your portfolio, because right now the client wants to see your portfolio. Now for that matter, you will also need to have your portfolio online. Because now clients, they want to have that link. Yes, I do have it on my hard disk. When the client tells him, I'll send them that link to that hard disk. But also whatever is my work, they can go and scroll and they can see it over there. So that helps you a lot.
Hello sir, myself Tilak. I'm not a photographer student, I'm actually a music producer. But as artists, we face a common problem, which is when we show artwork to other people for their feedback, maybe they say that they have heard this before, or they have seen this before somewhere else, and which gives us the idea that my artwork may not be unique, but it's original. So, what's your general advice to develop your own unique style? And other question is, what are your thoughts on the phrase "steal like an artist"?
Steal like an artist. Wow. Let me share this same thing which you're telling me. Okay, I'll share it with you with a thing which has happened with me. The first time when I shot, I was really impressed by the Ganpati decoration which is being made. And I think that was the year in which Pune had the 100 years celebration of Ganpati Sarvajanik Mandal coming in. Long time back. I travelled on my motorbike to Pune to cover the event over here. I did, and Pune was a very unique and a different experience because the lighting is big, massive, huge pandal stands, but the murti is like decently small. Mumbai, you have huge, massive murtis, but over here when I shot pictures and I took it and I showed it to my photography guru. Okay, Mr. Rahul Kadolkar, who was the sub-editor for Navshakti newspaper. And he saw the pictures and he told me like, ठीक है, चांगला है, but ह्याच्यात तुझं काय creation आहे? What did you create? And I was like, sir, this looks so beautiful. Okay, yes, this is a artwork done by that decorator. Okay, that is his creation. You just went and documented it. It doesn't give me that kind of a output. You need to have something which the moment the client sees, he or she should say, wow. There is going to be that block which is there in people's mind of accepting you, but the moment they see that kind of a talent, first and foremost is always do know and try to do your best. There are times in which the people from the industry are going to feel threatened. They will not be ready to accept you. But the day is going to come, you will have to fight it through. You will have to fight it through. That's the same another experience which I would like to share with you. Rucha came to Pune at JW Marriott where she did her internship. Close to 22-23 people came with you to JW Marriott, your batch, correct? We came, we saw the house for her, we did all the other things for her, we settled her, and I think it was some 22nd or 23rd of December. Yeah. And while going back with my wife, I told my wife that this is going to be the next 8 to 10 days are going to be the most crucial in her life, because that is the time when she is going to be working with the good people in the industry, Chef Vikas Bagul, right? A big taskmaster, and again the other people. She is going to be slogging it out, and that is the time which can make her or can break her. And if she doesn't give a call to us in the meanwhile and tell, मी दमले, मला करायचं नाहीये, I'm quitting this field. If you or me don't get a call this way, this girl will rise. But also remember, the 22 people who have come in, there are going to be a lot of dropouts. There's going to be a peer pressure to quit from there. But if she doesn't succumb to that, she will succeed. But if we get a call, probably we'll have to talk to her from not being a quitter. There are times in which their machine broke down and this girl had put her hands completely in cling wrap film, okay, and she was churning it with her hands. Just imagine a work which the machine is supposed to mix the cake batter. She was doing it, and December 25th to 31st December to 1st Jan is the most crucial period in which baking and patisseries are sold to the maximum. She even, couple of times we tried to call her, me phone घेऊ शकत नाहीये. If I feel and I'm okay with it, I'll give you a call. You don't talk to me. That was her response. And we did come to know that, okay, she is engrossed and she is absolutely into it. Doing that, I think some 3 of you all completed the internship, 2 of us. That means from the 22 who joined in, only 2 of them, they completed the internship. She is one of them. That is what the field is going to be. It is going to be tough, okay? That time, I know, the chef was like, उसने बोला नहीं होगा कि वो हाथ से बैटर मिक्स करना पड़ेगा. But this girl, I am ready to do it. I will do that. 36 hours non-stop working. That is something which is not very common. And if you have that dedication, if you have that passion, there is nothing that can stop you. Trust me, nothing can stop you.
Thank you, sir, for satiating our audience's curiosities. Now, before we conclude, we have a small ritual in place. So, you see that mug right in front of you?
Yes.
Can you please sign that mug and write a few encouraging messages for our students?
Wow. First and foremost is the moment it comes to that word Manthan. Okay, what do you mean by Manthan? A deep discussion, a deep conversation. But this word actually goes into our mythology also. What is that? Sagar Manthan, Samudra Manthan. Okay. So when that churning happens, there are a lot of things which are going to happen. Okay. And be ready to be in that whirlpool. Okay. If you succeed, you are going to come out successful. Please don't get drowned. There are so many things that are going to happen. Go on picking up those things. Go on adapting and adopting. Because that is something by which you are going to come out stronger. As students of mass media, as student of photography, as a student of what you can say, somebody who wants to learn this craft, okay, will have to go in through all these things. There are times in which probably 20, 30 hours shift, be ready for that. Be ready for that. And by the way, the moment it came to the video which I saw of Manthan, the one which we started out with, I really feel honored and being amongst a legacy which you people have carried it for so long. Okay, and one gentleman whom I do adore a lot was Mr. Wangchuk, Sonam Wangchuk, because that is what they call me in my college, Fungsuk Wangdu. Okay, that's his screen name, what they had given him. So that is how it goes on. So probably this also is going to be there in that collection. Awesome. Looking at my handwritings, you would say, sir would have been a better doctor, right? But I've also dabbled in that field, but not directly, indirectly I've dabbled in that field too. Learn, and what I've written is update and upgrade. That is what will take you ahead in life. What you are going to learn today is going to be valid for now. The moment you go out in the field and you will say, भाई मैंने BA BCom कर लिया था, अब जिंदगी भर मैं बैठ के करता रहूँगा. Sorry, this is not the field which you people have chosen. You have chosen a field in which you will have to go on updating and upgrading. Knowledge-wise, everything, in all the aspects, you will have to go on. The moment you feel that, wow, abhi ho gaya hai, probably that should be the last day when you would feel sab kuch seekh liya. I still say I am also learning till now. That is what is going to take you ahead.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time and effort in making this talk show a success. I'm sure I, along with everyone present here, have been deeply enlightened. Thank you, sir. So this is Aman Shukla signing off from Manthan 2023. Till then, keep clicking. Thank you.
It's been a wonderful 1 hour discussion with sir, and we are not aware about the time because we wish sir could have gone on, and I think students also are really enjoying. It's been a great day, sir. We have started this year's Manthan with sir's session, and I think it's a great start what we have. Hopefully, sir, you have enjoyed as well, and we are very happy to have you. On behalf of Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapeeth Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, I thank you for accepting our invitation and coming all the way from Mumbai. And I would like our department professor, Kishore Vaikal sir, please felicitate sir.